Daily Gospel Reflection. Luke 20, 27-40. Saturday of the 33rd week A. November 25, 2023. The Sadducees were known for the following. 1. Belief in the Torah, as written. 2. Belief in free will over the idea that everything is predetermined. 3. Denial of the resurrection, angels, and of the immortality of the soul, or of punishments and rewards in the afterlife. The Sadducees now raise an objection to Jesus' teaching of the resurrection and cite Moses as their authority. The essence of the Sadducees' question revolved upon the doctrinal denial of the resurrection. Their question was designed to make this doctrine sound ridiculous. Jesus knew this was the essence of the inquiry and taught them the truth about the resurrection. Perhaps the most effective way to handle antagonistic, improper, or irrelevant questions is to use them as a springboard for answering the questions that should have been asked. Even if the question are objects, you may have been able to plant good seeds in the mind of any listener who is honestly seeking the truth. Effective teachers learn to mold poor or irrelevant student questions into teaching moments. Millet and McConkie, Sustaining and Defending the Faith, 115. The Savior, sensing that the real question was not whose wife she would be, but whether or not there was indeed a resurrection, answered the direct question but briefly. Then the Master dealt with the real substance of the question. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read that which was spoken unto you by God, saying, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob? God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. Matthew 22:30-32. Jesus has defended the resurrection against the Sadducees' argument. Now he himself cites Moses to prove the resurrection. But in the account of the bush, even Moses showed that the dead rise, for he calls the Lord, the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. He is not the God of the dead, but of the living, for to him all are alive. Luke 20, 37-38. Jesus argues simply that the idea of being the God of a dead person is foolish. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob must either be alive or can confidently expect that God will raise them to life. God will raise the dead because he must keep his promises to them to be the God. As Jesus was answering the Sadducees, the Pharisees and scribes, teachers of the law, who believed in the resurrection, looked on approvingly. Some of the teachers of the law responded, Well said, teacher. And no one dared to ask him any more questions. Luke 20, 39-40. For the moment, Jesus was on the same side of theology as the Pharisees and scribes. But not for long. The honest in heart who were present quickly recognized the unassailable logic used by the Savior. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob had all died many years before, yet God still said he was the God and that he was God only of the living. Therefore, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob must still be living. Certain of the scribes who were present exclaimed, Master, thou hast well said. The logic silenced the Sadducees, and after that they dared not ask him any question at all. Luke 20, 39-40. Daniel H. Ludlow, Selected Writings of Daniel H. Ludlow, Gospel Scholars Series, Salt Lake City, Deseret Book Company, 2241. How can there be a God unless there is a resurrection? Why would God create men and then let them vanish into nothingness? To be God he must be the God of something, and the dead are nothing, hence, there are no dead, for all live unto him, for he raiseth them up out of the graves. Bruce M.C. Conkey, Doctrinal New Testament Commentary, 3 volumes. Salt Lake City, Bookcraft, 1965-1973, 1, 608. Man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from God.